Thank you so much, Arpan. Thank you for doing this. We are very honored to have you as a part of the top marketing leaders in the country and the list that we are making.
So I have been in the industry for roughly 13 years now. Started with automobiles, post which moved to FMCG, real estate, a bit of fashion, and now more or less settled in fashion with Ajio. How did marketing happen? So I think I'm more than marketing. I'm very interested in advertising.
Right.
During my engineering days, I remember I hardly used to focus on the ads in engineering. Rather, I used to focus on ads, how ads are made, ads of different countries. So that's something which really triggers me, right? Making ads and stuff, and that's kind of got me into marketing. And after getting into this space, I realized there's much more than just advertising. There's a lot more, and I've been doing that for the last 13 years or so. I started with automobiles, post which I worked with FMCG Britannia for a while. Then I had a stint with Lodha and Lodha Group in real estate. And my last stint I worked with Ola Electric, was kind of responsible for the launch of Ola Electric in India, the two-wheeler, and currently managing marketing at Ajio, Reliance Ajio. I think back in 2010 when I entered the marketing space, brand marketing used to be the only form of marketing we used to do, right?
Right.
Digital was not, performance wasn't that important back then.
Right.
Over the years, in the last 13 years, I have seen digital grow really fast and becoming probably the most prominent part of marketing or a marketeer's channels these days.
Right.
So that's the first thing we have seen. Secondly, within digital, there's a time right now, initially there were brands being built over decades. If you have seen the Cadbury campaigns or the amount of money is being invested. And we did not expect, when I talk to my seniors from those days, right, the 90s and stuff, when the expectation was not a sales uptick right there. It's more about imagery, it's more about salience, relevance in customers' life, etc., etc. But today, given the VUCA universe, right, so volatile times, the expectation from brand is similar to performance. It has to start impacting from day one.
Absolutely.
So that's why if you look at the campaigns as well, the campaigns have moved from being just brand building into more transactional, into trying to be more viral so that the ROIs are better. The first thing I have seen, I think secondly, customers also, given that the huge amount of content being created or transactional content being created these days, customers also prefer to know or read about a brand through non-transactional content, right? So that's the other change which I've seen happening. Other than that, I think influencers, I mean, in my marketing mix, influencers play a very, very important role.
Right.
Primarily the nano-influencers, because back, say 5 years back, it was the A-listers or the mega influencers. But as times are moving, I can see the nano-influencers are helping us target the audience better, have better engagement with the audience, and seem slightly easier to the pockets as well.
Right.
So I think I would say these are the few things which I have seen changing in the many years I have worked in. Yep. So I think the biggest challenge in marketing is everyone is a marketer, right? Even a finance guy or, I mean, to their own right, right? Everyone thinks they understand marketing really well. They see the art of marketing, but not the science behind marketing. And given that marketing is extremely subjective, it's not, we can't take away from them that they don't understand, but marketing needs to be seen from a slightly technical and scientific POV.
Right.
So that's the first thing. When we are presenting something, a campaign idea, if you have people who don't understand marketing that well, it becomes a huge challenge. So having the right guys, asking the right guys, right? Because feedback is never ending.
Right.
Couple of days back, our sales head came and gave feedback on design. This color is not looking good. So that's a never-ending process.
Absolutely.
So no one is right or wrong on that.
Right.
That's the first thing. I think this other pain point is obviously budget. It's I wouldn't call it a pain point, but having said that, it all depends on the life cycle of the product
Right.
and how fast you want to grow in that space and how much of its competition spending. So there should be some good benchmarking done before the budgets are decided. The expectation should be set
Right.
from day one on what kind of budget will result in what kind of transactions and sales. Third, obviously, is attribution. I think that's the biggest challenge which I see in brand right now, and with times, I'm sure with more tools, attribution will be becoming easier. With GA4 coming in, or an amplifier or a branch, I think attribution will start becoming easier for a brand marketer. With other products like DCM, Double Click Manager, DV360, it will
Right.
probably be far easier a few years down the line. I have been keeping a close watch on what's happening with AI, right? With ChatGPT and Bard fighting it among each other.
Right.
Very recently, I was just putting a few questions on ChatGPT, and I realized they are really smart.
Right.
I mean, the amount of data analysis they have done over years to come up with a solution right there, it's fantastic. I had asked AI to write a poem on, or a making marketing plan for Ajio, and I would say it's around 70 to 80% of what's a fresher would give me. So,
Nice.
so I was pretty impressed with that. But I always believe that more than the right answer, you have to ask the right questions. Is AI in a position to ask the right questions is more important, because that's something which humans can do. Secondly, I think AI will play a very, very important role in copy and design in the future, in personalization, in changing or analyzing a campaign midway, right? Because we start a campaign, we tend to overspend at times. But if I am given some understanding or analysis of the ROI midway, that will help me improve the ROI of the campaign before the campaign ends. So I think those automation, if AI can take up, I think that'll be super cool. I think these are few of the areas where AI will have a huge role to play: personalization, analysis, copy, design, in marketing, I think. But someone at the back, some smart marketer with natural intelligence, not artificial intelligence, has to own it and own the questions, what to ask AI. Content obviously is extremely important right now. There have been new formats of content. Earlier content, if I remember correctly, back then content used to be long format.
Right.
Now with the lower attention span, I read somewhere recently that it's as low as a few seconds now, similar to a goldfish. And it's decreasing year on year. I think short format content plays a very important role, and in such few seconds, right, you have to create an impact in the customer's mind.
Right.
And with IPL coming in and the cost of properties on TV going up so high, and you get a mere few seconds to create that impact. So I think people need to think, the guys who are creating ads and content need to think differently and have to stand out. So content, I think, has been important, but now it has become more important to create smart content that stays with you for years.
Right.
To create that differentiation. I think secondly, content, for me, content can be educational, content can be transformational, or changing the habit of the user. So different purpose, that should be aligned to the overall business objectives. The business objective followed by marketing objective, followed by the content objective, what it does. So once the business objective, marketing objective is set, content objective has to be defined as per that. Then as per the brand pillars, right? Say in fashion, the brand pillars would be to look good,
Right.
is one brand pillar.
Right.
The other brand pillar may be to make them feel confident, the other brand pillar. Dividing as per brand pillars, when I was to be working with automobile, one of the brand pillars is best performance, best design.
Right.
Or best functionality, or say the most frugal or best ROI for the user. Based on those brand pillars, we have to define what I want to convey to the user, and basis the medium, we have to decide what is that format of content we want to create.
Right.
If we can have a matrix like that in place as per a calendar, how we want to approach the entire year, I think that's how we should go about creating content.
Right.
Yep, primarily if you can follow that, it has worked well for me before. And plan according to the budgets, whatever you have, right? Though it's said that viral content can't be created, but I am a prime believer that if you have the elements of virality, good content can be viral, right? So if you keep those things in mind and understand the customer's pain points really well, I think that's ideally how we should go about creating the content.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Arpan.
Thanks,
This has
Ajio.
been amazing, very insightful, and I'm sure the hundreds and thousands of viewers of this are going to be absolutely as blown away as I am after speaking to you. So thank you so much.